What is going on, entertainers? So time coming to y'all with another video. We talking Dollhouse. Okay. First of all, this episode like 5 or 4. Why are they recapping the last episode on this video? On this episode, I was like, didn't we already see this? Like they did a whole recap of what has happened, like the previous episode for like the first 10 minutes, and that to me was such a waste of time. Like I don't know why they're doing that. That threw me off like completely because I thought I had to keep exiting the app because I'm like, oh, maybe I'm watching the last episode or something like that. No. So we're gonna skip the recap part of it because we already talked about that on the last video recap. So they show a confessional, right? And London is basically saying, oh, I don't even know why she's even making us go to this Voguity cat. Like you was calling this RuPaul's Drag Race. Why we gotta go and do that? First of all, the best drag queens are trans. So I don't know why she said that. That to me was so ignorant. And the way that the F word flows out of these girls' mouth is crazy. Like y'all just don't like the pounds. Like that to me is crazy. The way they say so easily, it's like it's dropping out of drama hat every 2 seconds. That F. I can't say it on here because YouTube, but like every 2 words out their mouth, the F word, F word, F word, F word, F word. Okay, that to me was really dumb. I watched London on the Gemini Film Show, and she kind of felt the same way because one of the girls on there, one of the T girls on there was also did drag, which I'm like, my whole thing is this: you can't knock a T girl for doing drag, but then support another T girl for selling ass. That's how I feel. So they show a little bit of also Jaylani getting snubbed by Joyce. Jaylani looked just like Bunny Buns. Not Jaylani, Swayana. When Joyce snuck Swayana. She looked just like Bunny Buns. It's not even funny. Like, especially with the wig cap off, that's like Bunny Buns is like twin. Then we get the entrance of Sidney Star. Y'all know I love to do a Sidney Star per se. She like, it's your girl, Sidney Star, the transgender diva, and I'm here to do my biggest one. So I'm gonna see you soon, sis. So I'm walking in. I've been in this game for 20 years. So when I walk in and see the girls, it's a bunch of bricks. How are these girls dolls, right? Sidney should have been the host. Sidney should have been the host. There's no debate about that. Sorry. I feel like Joyce is too immature to host the show. I feel like Sidney would bring the drama, but she would also bring the comedy to it. Joyce only makes me laugh in conflict, and that's only if I'm not on her side. So it's like I feel like Sidney would have been like the perfect even kill to do the show. She would have still been trying to instigate stuff, but still been joking on the side. And to me, like she to me has a resume to host the show because she's a known T girl. She's been a T girl for uh longer than some of these girls have even been T girls. And not even that, her name, although it may not be respected in the media, she's well known in the media. So that to me should have been the host and been the face of the show to really push the show out there, get people really talking about it instead of Joyce. Joyce to me is still acting like a cast member. So that's why I feel like Sidney should have been the host over her. A lot of the girls didn't feel the same way, but I really feel like it comes from jealousy, to be honest. Because like when you think of famous T girls, Sidney is one of those girls you think of. And y'all know how Sidney do, child. She had a fanny pack, the tight ass pants, tatas out, jacket open to show the tatas out. Like just look at all types of just woven in. Sidney always looked like she squeezed. Like you just want to loosen her up. Like she just always looked like she wrapped tight, like wrapped all the way tight. She did look cute versus some of her other appearances, though. I will say that. But by the end of this episode, her wig was like coming apart like a book. For y'all that watch the OG entertainers, y'all know I call Sidney Star like the transgender clown. So she comes in, she's like, "What's going on, y'all? It's Sidney Star, the transgender diva. Y'all wouldn't have a dollhouse without me. What's going on, ladies?" All the bitch needed was a red nose because Sidney she gonna give you a good laugh, okay? So the girls are just all sort of looking at her. None of them start clapping and saying, "Woo!" Like nobody's really super excited. They just sort of standing there. And Joyce is still trying to fight the cast. My whole thing is, how does Joyce expect to come back hosting the show season after season if you're just trying to fight the cast? I just don't get how you're gonna do that. I don't get it. I get like you could say the same thing for Isaiah, but like Isaiah don't be fighting the whole cast. Like he'll fight like maybe one or two people that call him out or he had beef with online. Like most of the time it's Dully, the twins, or like, you know, it's like a feud. Joyce is feuding with like half the cast and trying to fight like half the cast, and not even that she's reading half the cast. So I don't get how you expect to be a host and you doing it like that. It don't make sense to me. She looks crazy. So she pulls off her wig. She like, I don't give a on the dead transsexuals. She walks over there. She start running. Security starting to boom at her and stuff like that. The funniest part of this episode, shout out to the editor, was the sound effects for Sidney Starr. Because it goes with the clown effect I done told y'all about. Every time she running around, she trying to move over with her big booty, trying to do a football stance. Y'all play the funny clown music. Shout out to the editor for that, because that was needed. So Sidney starts to plot. The moment she see Joyce acting up, she starts to plot. She kind of peeps that Joyce isn't getting along with the other girls. So she starts to peep the scenery. She starts to go over to the girls. She's like, I don't know, y'all. Like, I should have been the host. What y'all think? Sidney for house. Sidney for house. She starts twerking around in them Zumba pants, okay, with her fanny pack. And her and Joyce start reading each other. My whole thing is this. Joyce, I feel like, has always been jealous of Sidney. You say that she's meaning that like she passed around, but like Joyce, there's videos of you online sucking Playboy at that. So it's like, y'all know different. At least Sidney made a career out of it. She didn't do it for free, babes. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's an OF girl. Like, she's an OFT girl. So, it's not the most respected career, but they got clips of you just sucking it, for the free ski. So you can't really read her on that. I feel like a lot of two girls would get jealous of Sidney because of the clout that she has. And it's so obvious. So she antagonizing Joyce. She like, I should be the host, babe. I should. Right? She antagonizing. So Joyce sees the proud opportunity and just bow. She steals off on Sidney. Sidney, you gotta stop going on these shows if you can't learn how to fight or take a boxing class or two. Cause they just be tearing you out the frame every time you go on these shows, especially not as TV. Zeus, they let you, slide with a little hair pull and a little, a setup or a coordinated fight. But not as TV, they be tearing you up for real, for real. I mean, she took her from one side of the dance floor to the other. Like, she made Sidney Star Vogue. She made that bitch do the duck walk, like literally across the floor. It was really bad. Sidney ended up getting up with a knot on side her head, just on the side, wig or loose. She looked like a damn gypsy coming up. Like, it was really bad. Why would you do that to yourself, Sidney? At this point, you should have came to the house, so maybe you could at least prepare yourself or get into some athletic wear, but I still don't think that would have helped.
Now, I know you ain't doing that. I can't believe you did this. That's why I don't tell you nothing. Because why you do that? Why I do what?
Why you do that? I mean, God. My whole thing is this. Sidney does run her mouth. So I get Joyce getting at her because I feel like just because you say, oh, I'm not a fighter, shouldn't excuse you from getting hit, especially if you're talking a lot of shit. So Sidney has all rights to get popped because she does talk a lot of crap. But, it's still like I side-eye Joyce because that was an easy W. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was an easy W. That was an easy W. Like, Sidney, Sidney not gonna ever get nobody no work. Like, even somebody, Joyce at one point came close to her, close to hitting her, and she almost fell. She didn't even hit the bitch. And she was tumbling. That Barbie is a funny bitch. So she's in her confessional. There's like a crown sitting there, and that's the same crown that Joyce wears, looking like Mortician at Confessional. So she ends up taking a crown. She like, who crown is that? And then I think it's Deja. It sounded like Deja. Deja like, oh, that's Joyce's crown. She said, oh, okay. And she took it. She put on her head. She talking about, I am the ruler. I am the one. I am the. She started quoting Nicki Minaj. I'm like, this is why you gotta love Barbie. Like, that shit was so fucking funny. Like, I think she was trying to rap, I am your leader. Yes, I am your leader. You are not a leader. Suck a big. That's what she was trying to rap. I'm a low-key barb, but I'm not like one of them Twitter barbs. There's a difference. So security starts yelling at the girls, talking about, oh, y'all need to stop fighting, y'all need to stop fighting. And Pookie gets mad. She like, hey, you need to tell that to your host. Like, your host is the one getting like this. Your host is the one getting rowdy. And I'm thinking the same thing. I'm like, why are y'all not telling Joyce to calm down? She the one that seemed like she really want to fight like that, to be honest. Then this is where Sidney realizes the knot on her head is a lot bigger than what she thought. So she starts freaking out. She like, I'm gonna fry you like a pig, bitch. Like bacon. She was pissed. The knot was about this side on the middle of her head. Okay. It then made her grow a unibrow. It was really bad. So she starts running around. Sidney Star, you need to let us know what football player you've been sleeping with. Cause who taught you them moves? This girl was she did the back turn, she did the twist. She said you could have threw a ball at the bitch and she would have caught it. Like somebody should have threw a football and said, oh, and she would have got it. Because the way she was maneuvering around, I never see Sidney Star move that quick. Because we all know Sidney Star for fighting in slow motion and moving at 0.2 seconds. So to see her move around so quickly and swiftly, it kind of gagged me. But you still wasn't going nowhere at all. Not as TV, y'all going to hell for what y'all did. Why y'all gonna let Sidney Star get a second round with her? I really want to know. Like, y'all shouldn't have not listened to Sidney. Sidney said she want another round. No. Disapprove her from that. She's not allowed. Because the way that Joyce was able to maneuver, stomp her face was crazy. Sidney swung like this. She said, she thought the bitch was at a rock concert. It was like, it was so bad. Like she just went in. You would have thought she was going into a pool the way that she went into that fight with Joyce. It was really bad. Joyce ended up getting her, to be honest, swung her around and started low-key stomped her one good time. Joyce starts quoting what's her name? Melanie. Okay. You bitches, I'ma pop it. You bitches is a pimple, I'ma pop it. Hey, like I love that song. So shout out to Mel for that song. Shout out to her. My whole thing is with that whole situation. Why didn't y'all let the Swayana girl get it in with Joyce, especially with Joyce sneaking her? Y'all let Sidney Star fight her though. That's what didn't make sense to me. Not only the knot was like it was a pretty big knot. It was the size of like a golf ball. It was pink too. Sidney Star probably got like sensitive skin, so like that knot just came so easily to her forehead. Poor Sidney. Like I don't know why she doesn't take the boxing classes. Okay, now Barbie and Kenzie and Persuasion, they start feeling away because they feel like they're protecting Joyce. Why isn't she able to why is she able to get protected and basically talk all her crap? So all the girls are seeming like they're gonna start having Sidney's back while she's in the house, so they could get their lick back for Sidney. Okay, for it should be in Sidney Star's contract that she comes there with a duo. You need to come with like a hard ass T girl that knows how to squabble. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody who got the big thumpers, just come up in there with them so that way they could take your fades. Because going by yourself, Sidney, is not gonna work. Because the assistant already did it for one season, had your back, and we all saw what happened with Quality Cologne. So I don't think he's gonna, be the one to be that person. But if you look in front of the T girl, you'll be set. So they get back to the house and Sidney Star, first, another thing with Sidney Star, why Sidney Star never have a top that fit her? That bikini top was some nasty work, Sidney Star, because at this point you just flashing the girls. You might as well not even keep that top on. It's not even needed because it don't even cover half of what's up there, Sidney Star. So the Michaela girl, which is Joyce's friend, which by the way, I've seen on the blogs that I guess Michaela and Joyce allegedly, because the girls get mad. The blog said it, I didn't. That Michaela and Joyce allegedly, were doing certain things. So this scene kind of confirmed it for me, allegedly, because when she said why she started confronting Sidney Star, she like, why you touching my girlfriend now? Why you touching my girlfriend? I told you not to put your hands on my girlfriend now. I said, oh. She said it like she owns Joyce. I know that's right, Joyce. Joyce, if y'all know at this point, is Pam because Joyce love them all. You like K Michelle. I love them all. I love them all. Because Joyce leaves with the Bush Queens, the Trade, the DL Trade, the crazy punks like Duke, and then we got Michaela, the T Girls. That makes you Pan Joyce. You are pansexual. That's what you are at this point. Her trying to fight Sidney to me was very stupid because it's like, one, Joyce already beat her up. And then two, you know you really could beat her up. Because Michaela is like, huh. So imagine Michaela getting her hands on Sidney Starr. Like that literally would turn completely bloody at this point. I just feel like Sidney should have came in there in another way because the way that she came into me was like a whole effing setup. Like even if she tried to be cool with Joyce and say, I'm replacing y'all girls, the other girls would have jumped on her. Y'all see what I'm saying? Like the cast would have tried to jump on her. But the fact that she went against Joyce, some of the girls had her back. So I feel like she played it smart, to be honest, and was able to kind of get away with not getting like jumped. You know who Sidney Starr remind me of? She remind me of Jackie Christie. Sidney Starr is the black trans version of Jackie Christie. Like literally, they act just alike. So Persuasion basically is going to run Pookie's fate on behalf of Sidney, and she's going to run her fate with Michaela. I'm sorry. Persuasion's gonna fight Pookie on behalf of Sidney, and because of that, Sidney was a little afraid because she felt like the Michaela girl is less in her transition than Persuasion is, so she didn't even want her to get it in with her because she felt like she was more brick. Sydney's critique was y'all need to have a lot more dolls on this show. I would say I kind of agree. I feel like Ray J's version of the cast was a little bit more them. Okay, these girls still want to tussle and be brolic. You know what I'm saying? So it's like she wasn't really lying when she said that. Y'all, this squabble was one of the nastiest I've ever seen on this network. Like it was so bad. I will say Persuasion won. Argue with your mom, argue with somebody in the comments, but y'all not gonna argue with me. Persuasion won. But I will say Michaela, she's the type of fighter where like she gonna try to take advantage. She took advantage by pulling her. She took advantage by backing Persuasion in the corner, having her fall, and she took advantage of when Persuasion was not looking and paying attention, sneaking her off to the side. So that's the type of fighter she is. Like she take advantage of moments. But to me, Persuasion won in the grand scheme of things. She did have her leaking, but if you really look at the punches, Persuasion was landing. At one point, Michaela started grabbing because Persuasion was punching like hard. They let them go for that second round. And that second round, I think by that point, Persuasion mouth was feeling a ways because Michaela was starting to get her. Like at one point, she was starting to dozing off. Michaela ended up falling. They separate them. So, because y'all know how Isaiah got his favorites. Let's all be real. Isaiah got his favorites. So he wanted them to run that second round after that first round. Because once he saw that blood, it pissed him off. He was angry. So he made him run that second round. All right. Now, after that happens, Joyce, mind you, this Sidney funny as hell. The whole time it's happening, Sidney talking about she got the chair up. She said, girl was spooked and nervous and terrified because she knew if one of them girls put their hands on her, it was over. Didn't I tell y'all if that Michaela girl got her hands on Sidney, it would have been a wrap. Joyce ends up talking to Persuasion in the bathroom. And not gonna lie, like Persuasion, you should have got Joyce. Because Joyce talk a lot. You should have got her in that bathroom. You really should have got her. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't even mad at it. Because she made your friend Joyce made you bleed. Persuasion. Her friend made you bleed. You should have got her. So they end up talking in the bathroom and stuff like that. And I was glad Persuasion was smart enough to see what Joyce was doing because Joyce was literally trying to get her to be cool so she don't get hit. We all know Persuasion is a great fighter, and she would have tossed Joyce out the frame, which we've seen her already do before. In that hotel room, it would have been bad. So I just feel as if she was trying to like make sure she doesn't get got. So shout out to Persuasion for being smart enough to notice that. That house mom let me tell you, the way they've been reading the house mom in the comments all through everywhere that he's posted, it's not even funny. It is so deserving. Because why were you in that episode calling them niggas, talking about they is out and all this type stuff? And it's like, that's why they don't like you. And I hope he don't come at the reunion because he gonna get got. I still don't know why they didn't put a T-girl as the house mom. Y'all was better off getting Queen. Because a lot of these girls, let's be honest, they don't even like Bush Queens. Like, that's another video that I need to make. Like, why do T-girls have a problem with Bush Queens? Like, it's some T-girls, they hate them. Like, they despise Bush Queens as if we're the enemy, as if we did something to them. And it's like, we're not the enemy, babes. Anyways, let me know what y'all think down below, and we're up.